And what we have something really good to talk about today. What's that?
The M3?
No, iPhone 16 finally has Wi-Fi 7, and
I know.
it's on the 16 standard and on the Pro.
Yeah,
Um,
that's awesome news, huh?
yeah, because before we had 6E just on the Pro models. So
Yeah.
the 6 gigahertz didn't really get pushed out to everyone. Not a lot of everyone buys the Pro model, like we do.
Yeah, yeah.
um,
That's why, yeah, that's why I bought that phone because it was on 6E.
yeah, for
And
sure.
you see a major difference when you're connected on 6E, right?
Oh yeah, yeah. Speed wise, for sure, um, and we'll see another big difference now with Wi-Fi 7. 320
Yep.
megahertz channel width, hopefully on the phone. We'll see about that.
I'd be very curious if MLO is going to be supported or not.
Yeah, if they support multi-link, because I think a lot of the Androids don't really support it, right? The
Yeah,
ones that
that's what we
say they
kind of
have Wi-Fi
discovered.
7, they don't support the multi-link, um, which should give you better resiliency on the
Yeah.
iPhone if you can.
Redundancy.
Yeah, if you can be connected on multiple bands at the same time, you don't necessarily need that extra speed, but for voice, video apps, things like that, you should get a better connection.
Yep, for
Um,
sure.
so there. So did you order one yet? Did you put your order in?
I did. I pre-ordered.
Oh, nice.
I got the 15 or 16 Pro, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're supposed to get it on the 20th.
On Friday, next Friday, and the order process went pretty smooth if you use the Apple Store app on your existing phone, right? Um,
Yeah, yep. I tried to do it on my laptop and then it shifted me over to the phone.
it's
I
like
guess
use
I
the
could have
phone.
did it on the laptop, but
Yeah.
yeah, I ended up doing it on the phone.
Yeah, it's interesting. Like I opened it up right at 8 o'clock Eastern, and it's like, oh wait, we're getting ready. They're never quite ready. Like I don't know what
Yeah.
like they didn't know this was gonna happen. They couldn't like get extra servers ready. They're like, we're getting ready, and then like 20 minutes later, I see the pre-order thing come up.
Oh, that's funny because I wasn't able to get to it until like 5:30 our time
Okay.
or my time, I should say. So it was, yeah, it was already ready. So, I
So
was thinking it would have been ready at 5.
they're probably just trying to build up some anticipation. They want people to get excited about it. They're like, oh wait, I can't get it. Like it's like
Yeah.
waiting at the store, right? They're like, if I
Yeah.
guess if it came right up and you could order it, that people would be like, well, I don't know if I want to order it now. Like it's too easy,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
right? They build some scarcity, and so you're like, oh, I gotta wait to order this. I better order it now.
Yeah, yeah.
I almost think that's what they do.
But it
Um,
is yeah, it is, ends up being around $1,200 if you buy a case. I guess if you don't buy the case, it's like $1,100 or
right,
something.
right. Um,
Um,
So 11. So and you have to get the case this time almost right because of this new camera button. I got a picture of it. I'll put up. So it has this haptic control button that's on the side of the phone, and if you covered that with a case, you're not going to get the full effect out of it because it's not really a button. It's a touch sensitive control.
right.
Now I've seen some like knockoff cases coming through with like an opening there, but then you have to put your finger through the opening to access that button, and it's probably not going to work the same.
Yep, yep.
So
Yeah.
it's almost like they're trying to claw back the accessory market because I know you like to get like carbon fiber case or something for somebody else, right?
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, I think I can't remember the manufacturer or the brand of this
mm,
case, but I do like it. It keeps it slim.
yeah.
It is protective. I've dropped it a couple times, so yeah, it's just there's some sort of logo on there. I can't remember the company name, but yeah, it's super light.
And I'm sure they'll get aftermarket manufacturers will get it down sooner or later. But they said there's like there's a piece of glass in there or some sort of acrylic that lets the touch go through the case.
Oh, okay.
Sapphire. It's Sapphire. They said.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you mentioned that.
Yeah, so it's gonna be. I mean, they'll probably all be able to figure it out eventually, but it's like you're risking not being able to use that new feature, by getting like another case, right? And you're paying for the case that you don't know is gonna work, right?
Oh yeah.
So, there's regarding that button. There's like a lot of new AI features in this iPhone 16. So it's interesting. Like the 15 had, it had the AI cores or the neural
Yeah,
cores.
so the same yeah.
Same 16 neural cores, but now they're going to use it for some actual things like for like the camera functionality and things like that. So they're going to kind of mimic an SLR where you push halfway on that new button to like focus and then all the way to take the picture.
Yep. And you and I were kind of talking about like it's difficult to push on the camera. It's difficult to push the screen, right, to take the picture.
Yeah. So
this should make it a little bit easier.
You're holding your phone, you open the camera app, then you got to press the button. You got to like find the button on the screen, right?
Yeah.
So
which can be a pain.
It can be a pain. So that's actually, I think that's actually a good, that you'll have a button here. You'll be able to like concentrate on framing the photo. So yeah, of course AI is a big thing. And then the screen is going to be a little bit bigger, 6.9 inches versus 6.7. So it's going to be a little bit bigger. Again, so you have to buy a new case.
The one thing I didn't realize is like in regards to the battery life.
Yeah.
The iPhone 16 Pro Max has a longer battery life than the Pro, just the normal Pro.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that. I don't know if you knew that already. Yeah, it's
always the case. It's always the case because it's bigger, so there's more room in there to fit more batteries, I guess.
Yeah, which makes sense, but I guess I never really thought about it. But
even though the screen's bigger, so the screen's going to use more power, but there's more real estate for the batteries in there too.
Right.
Right. Because I think whatever it is, the battery is much smaller than the screen anyway, so they can make it bigger. Like on an iPad, they could put a big battery in there. It can last like hours with the screen on.
Yeah, it's 33 versus like 24 or 27 actually.
Yeah.
So 33 hours in the Pro Max and 27 hours in the 16 Pro, basically. But I would assume that there's more power consumption on the Max, right? So I figured that I didn't realize it would be that different, but I guess it is.
Yeah, I guess there's more real estate for the battery in there.
Yeah.
And as for the camera, like so now it can do 120 frame slow motion at 1080p. I thought it was 4K, but it looks like it 4K has 120 hertz refresh, but slow-mo support is at 1080p 120 frames per second, so that's new. So yeah, they're adding a bunch of new things, and of course the Wi-Fi 7 chip, like they never tell you too much about it, but I did some digging. It looks like it's a Broadcom chip in there.
Broadcom,
yeah.
So why are we talking about the iPhone?
Just because like that means okay. So everyone going out and buying a new iPhone from this point forward is going to have Wi-Fi 7 capability, right? So that's going to be up until this point. There are not a lot of Wi-Fi 7 devices out there. Like even new laptops, they'll probably have it, but you don't replace a laptop that often. Probably less than a phone, I would say. Some people hold on to their phones for like 6 years, but I would say most people probably replace it in like 3-year cycles or something like that.
Right.
So like overnight, anyone that's getting this, we're going to have like so many Wi-Fi 7 devices that on the networks now that if we start looking, we're going to see it immediately pick up, right?
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see kind of like all our customers, right? Like how many 6 gigahertz is being used now. Like that's going to be very interesting to see. Like right now I can look at, there's multiple networks I can look right now, but not all of them are using, the Wi-Fi 7 or Wi-Fi 6E, so they're still in dual band, but it will be interesting to see like the buy rate of Wi-Fi 7 with our customers. And I know you're selling a lot more Wi-Fi 7 right now.
Yeah. Oh yeah. There's definitely more interest, and I think it's going to take maybe a couple weeks for people to get these in their hands, and then they'll be like, "Oh, I want to see this faster speed. I want to see like over 2 gig on this phone with my internet connection, right? If you have a
Right.
connection that fast, um, or even like like some of these orders are for like doctors' offices where they're sending high resolution photos back to a server, right? You'll get even faster speeds, things like that, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So you're not waiting for those like X-rays, photos taken with the iPhone, whatever, getting back to the server to process.
And then the iPhone 16, right? As normal,
Mm-hmm.
but some people may know, there it's a 2x2 design, right?
Yeah, 2x2 chipset. It says that in the specs. They don't go much more into it. They don't call out 320 megahertz. Interesting because they just say Wi-Fi 7, 802.11be with 2x2 MIMO, and Bluetooth 5.3. Now for their 5G radio, they call that out with a 4x4 MIMO, and then gigabit LTE with 4x4. So this 4x4 cellular radio in there, but 2x2 on the Wi-Fi,
Yep.
which is what we'll probably see because 4x4. I don't think these devices could process that much data, even though it may give them a little bit more range too, right? Like may increase the Wi-Fi range if they were 4x4, but I don't know that they'd want to give up that real estate in there to put extra antennas in.
Yeah, I mean that's not their main selling point, right?
Right,
So,
right.
but they have to have it kind of thing,
Well, I
right?
mean,
So,
yeah, they're selling based on the cellular radio, like that the 5G is going to be life changing. But in reality, most people are using Wi-Fi. They're getting on Wi-Fi as fast as they can, right, to get
yeah,
better
exactly.
experience. So yeah, pretty interesting. So we'll be talking more about this. I'll do some speed testing when I get it with the ECW 536 and the Ruckus R770. See how it works with both of those.
Yep.
And we have both the ECW 526 and 536 in stock now. The 526 just needs a 1 gig PoE plus switch will work fine with it. And
Yep.
then if you have a faster connection, you can do a 2.5 gig and we'll be getting 10 gig switches pretty soon also.
That's right. Yep.
Um,
Yeah, that's the ECS 5512 FP.
5512, and those are coming in next month maybe.
I believe so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so a little bit of wait on those, but if you get the ECW 526, you can probably use that with your existing switches and see like gigabit speeds on those gigabit switches, or if you have a multi-gig switch, you'll see over 2 gig
Yeah,
speed
and we
on
have
it.
24 and 48 port multi-gigabit
Right.
switches,
I
and
have
they
the
supply
24 port in stock too. Yeah.
yeah, and they supply PoE plus, and that's all you really need for the ECW 526, which is the 2x2
Right.
Wi-Fi 7 access point. The 4x4 Wi-Fi 7 access point needs a little more power, so you need BT power, so you need PoE plus plus, right?
Yeah.
So you either go with a PoE injector or you wait for that 10 gigabit switch to come out.
Right. And we do have the PoE injectors too that will tide you over until that 10 gig switch is available if you want to install those now.
That's
Um,
right.
all right, sounds good. So we'll be getting those in. We'll talk some more about it. Remember to like and subscribe. We'll be back next week.